Hey guys, welcome to day 2. Give you guys a few minutes to hop on here. If anyone's here, just let me know in the comments that we're live and you can see me and that we're kicking things off. All right. Hey there, happy day 2. All right. So I see you guys can see me, so we can start. So I had some technical difficulty yesterday, and I think I've got it worked out today. So just bear with me. But welcome to day 2. How are you guys feeling? How was day 1 for you? Can you drop me a line in the comments and let me know? Were you able to do the practices? Were you able to tune in and catch up on yesterday's Facebook Live? So this is totally self-paced, but I do want to just let you know if you do miss it, make sure you make time to go back in and catch up on it. There's lots of valuable information here, so I'd love for you to get to at least process through the challenge in its entirety whenever you're ready. So today our focus is on creating space. So I'm going to share my screen because I have slides, but kind of diving into how to create space. I think that, oh, good. I'm so glad that everything's going good, that you really like the practice. But yeah, how do you create space? So there's a couple different kinds of space. There's mental and emotional space, and then there's physical space, which we need to have both in our lives to be healthy. So let me go ahead and see if I can get my screen shared here and get this going. All right, so let's see if we do this. All right, so question is, can you guys see my slides? And I will wait for an answer this time. Do you guys see the purple slides up? Not a blue background. Happy Monday, Colleen. Happy Monday, guys. All right. So I know that there's a little bit of a delay from when I can see your, yes, you can see it. Yay. All right. Here we go. All right. So in order to create space in our lives for all the things that we want to do and all the things that we desire to be, we need to consciously make some choices. So we need to set boundaries and we need to stick to them. So the key here is not only setting the boundaries, it's sticking to them. So it's a lot more difficult than it sounds, but I'm going to show you the way, and then I have an exercise for you to help. So how many of you have ever gone into an event? So maybe it's dinner with that energy vampire friend you've got, the person who just kind of brings you down a level, or even a meeting with your boss who's super demanding, and you have your boundaries all outlined for yourself. And I'm going to leave at 8 o'clock on the dot, and I'm not taking on any more responsibility, only to find that you've completely veered off course. You're getting home from dinner at midnight and you have a brand new project at work. So this can be, you're not alone. This is super common. It's actually part of our human nature to do these things. So what can we do to make this better, right? When we allow our boundaries to be undefined or typically ignored, our well-being suffers, and we really just set ourselves up for failure. We feel stressed, we feel disconnected from our true selves, and we even feel sick at times. The good news is, though, that with practice and time and introducing and guiding the principles of yoga and Ayurveda, that we can develop strong, healthy boundaries that we can stick to. So I like to look at boundaries kind of as the 3 layers of an apple. So you've got your outermost layer of boundaries here, the apple skin. And it's the easiest for us to see, and it relates to our behavior. So this is about the time that you spend helping other people, what you fill your plate with, really that external most layer of boundaries. So when setting boundaries at this level, we tend to feel guilty. Saying no to somebody means you're letting someone down. And that couldn't be more far from the truth. Like, let's try and shift our perspective to being grateful when we are able and choose to say no, to create space in our lives for more fulfilling things. And to be honest, if the person that you are saying no to feels let down and is hurt by that, then there should be a conversation, maybe some reevaluation of the relationship so that they know that you need space and that you need to do what works for you. So let's stop doing that. All right. The next is the middle layer. So I think of this as the flesh of the apple. These are our interpersonal boundaries and really how we allow the mood of others and other people's emotions to impact us. So I'm sure that you guys have all experienced this. You're like, you come home from work, you're super excited, like your Lady Jam just played on the radio, you're so happy. And maybe a friend or a partner, like their doom and gloom, their dark and dreary just brings you down a notch, right? They're having a shit day and now you're having a shit day. So allowing ourselves to feel the emotions of others as if they were our own, no matter how much the emotional cost is to yourself, it's a dangerous and slippery slope. So the key to others and emotions is feeling compassion for people, but not taking on their suffering, not empathically taking that on. Again, interpersonal boundaries. And then we've got the innermost layer, which we can relate to the core of the apple, and that's our intrapersonal boundaries. And it involves connecting with our deepest and truest selves. So how tuned into you are to your body as you move throughout the day? Like when you meet somebody who seems a little bit off to you, do you tune in and listen? Do you make a decision based on how your gut's telling you to feel? Do you notice these signals that come from your mind and your body? A lot of people don't. So that's why we ask these questions. When we lack boundaries at this level, it leads to nervous system imbalance and nervous system disorders. So this is where anxiety and depression stem from. The key to developing boundaries at this innermost level is to cultivate deep embodiment. And so that's the ability to be present with sensations in the body as they change from moment to moment. So this is pausing and taking a breath. It's just tuning in. So this is where the ancient wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda really come into play. The practices that I'm teaching you this week are just a couple of examples of how to pause, tune in, and truly listen to what your body and your spirit are telling you. Not just as necessarily your mind, right? Your mind can tell you things that may or may not be true, but what your body and your spirit need, that's what we want to tune into. So allowing yourself the space to cultivate a daily practice, maybe that's yoga, meditation, or breath work, or relaxation or journaling. By doing these sort of things, you're going to open space up for so much more in your life. Trust me, I know from experience. The past few years, by just giving myself the space to be me, my life has changed so dramatically, like so dramatically. So boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. And I think this is a beautiful quote because setting boundaries are not selfish, they're essential. It allows you to be a better partner, to be a better parent, to be a better employee, to be a better friend. My goal with this challenge and this week, I'm going to switch back so you can see me. My goal with all of this is to just, by the end of the week, I want you to be able to pause and check in. I want you to be able to tune in just a little bit more than you could when you started. So, because if we don't allow ourselves the time to take the energy and the time to create space, our lives are going to remain just as chaotic as they've always been, right? We're going to be stressed. We're going to be frantic. We're going to be unhappy. And ultimately, all of that leads to distress and ultimately disease. So by doing this stuff, doing the work, putting in the practice, we're really setting ourselves up to just live a happier, more joyful life. So in the unit section in Facebook, I've uploaded a form, another worksheet about boundaries. Please take a few minutes to complete it. Again, at your own pace, but I think that it's really valuable. It's, again, just like yesterday's exercise, it's going to just tune your light of awareness to where you need to work, where the boundaries need to be put in place, and where you can actually work to cultivate this. So yeah, that's it on boundaries today. I'm curious if you guys have any questions about what we've covered so far or about boundaries. If you guys have had any experience with setting boundaries and sticking to them, if it's something that you're good at. For me, I know it took a long time. I'm a people pleaser by nature, and I want to make everyone in my life happy. But I can tell you that I'm much better at making people happy once I make myself happy. So yes, it definitely makes you think about saying no more, saying yes. When do you choose to say yes and say no? You know, it's not easy. I'm not putting this out there to tell you that, by the end of this week, you're going to be perfect at it. But again, it's all about shining that light of awareness. That's why we started with awareness. So the more you know, the more you know. So, all right, guys. Well, enjoy today's practice if you haven't taken it, or take it again if you have. It's a pretty good core workout and a little guided dive inward. So if no one else has any questions, we'll leave it at that, and I will sign off, seeing you guys tomorrow. And yeah, I'll check in on you guys later today in the Facebook group, but feel free to let me know if you have any questions or need help with anything, or just share how you're feeling. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.